Hey folks, Big Deano here again, and yes, I am back. Yes, I apologise, but I took a little break from reviewing, and it's nothing bad or anything like that. I'm recording, basically because I'm setting up a second channel, or rather, it's already set up. I just need to record footage for it. I am setting up a gaming channel, yes, before anyone asks, and it's going to be mostly, well, Bethesda games really, but there will be bits and bobs elsewhere, but for now anyway, the majority of it will be Skyrim related, but not just normal Skyrim or Skyrim Special Edition. It's going to be a heavily modded playthrough, etc, etc. But if anyone's interested in that, I will share it at some point in the near future. So yeah, on to the subject at hand, and this is essentially me catching up. This is the new Gohan, Super Saiyan Son Gohan, although I'm pretty sure the original Gohan was called Super Saiyan Son Gohan as well, so yeah, Tamashii, really need to fix your what should I say, your marketing, because that will confuse the life out of people and no one will be able to find this new one if they want to search for it somewhere. Anyway, let's take a look at the box, shall we? And yes, as is seemingly the standard with figures these days, they're all coming in this new style of box. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, I actually quite like the new box design. But yeah, taking a look at the bottom, if we can see, come on, there we go, that's the Collector's Shop logo, which means this is a web exclusive figure. Hence why it was so expensive, even though it comes with barely anything, but there you go. Gold toy sticker, Tamashii Nations, Bandai, picture of Gohan with some writing at the bottom, some pictures at the side, and just some more writing on this side. And on the back we have, let's actually zoom out again, just some pictures of him in specific poses, nothing too special, and of course the jargon I can't ever read. So yeah, Gohan. Yes, you'll notice I'm having trouble standing him up. We'll get back to that. In terms of accessories, he comes with separate head. In fact, I forgot, when we're using this camera, we're better off zooming in, aren't we? So yeah, new head sculpts, well, not really new head sculpts, more a rework of them. So yeah, the shading on this new one is really nice. It matches up with the rest of the quote-unquote 2.0s. That face in particular though, I don't know, there's something a bit off about it. I mean, especially when you compare it to, say, that one. That one is a dead ringer for Gohan. That one, I don't know, there's something not quite right about it. I mean, from certain angles, yes, it looks like Gohan, but I don't know, I don't get it. But as you can see, you get the normal facing head, you get the side facing head, you get the Gohan screaming in anger, or, well, just general screaming. This can count for two poses, either him when he's first transforming, or him when he's realised he's let everyone down. And last one is the shouty face, or him just saying the ha out of Kamehameha. And last but not least, you have that one, which again doesn't look quite right. I don't know what's going on there. In terms of swapping out the heads, or swapping out the faces rather, you've got slightly new style, which unfortunately means you can't use these with the old Gohan figure. It's now rounded pegs instead of square ones. Much easier to swap out though, I will give them that. And in terms of this head, let's pop it off. Again, pop the front off like you did the old one, but instead of a long cylinder, not cylinder, rectangle sort of peg, you get two holes. Of course the faces are swappable between the two heads, and I will get into sort of swapping the entire heads between old and new, but as for now we'll keep him as is. He does pose really well, as you can see. Let's pop out just a little bit. And there we go. Yeah, so he does pop really well. He's really good at posing. His colours are quite nice as well, and they're not shiny, which every single Gohan released ever, at least this type of Gohan, has always been shiny. I don't know why Tamashii couldn't be bothered to use a different kind of plastic, but there you go. In terms of the... oh, I actually forgot. We've got hands to go through, haven't we? Ah, dear. Right. Let's get started. We have... let's get the zoom back in. There we go. So we have relaxed hands that also double as injured hands. We have Kamehameha hands, which are much better than the original Gohans. They aren't quite as relaxed. And we have two pairs of Ki Blast hands. And finally we have two pairs of fist hands. Of course one of them's on him, and for whatever reason I forgot to bring the other fist hand with me, so yeah. So yeah, you can get him into... I'll pop that off. Really easy to pop these off, so kudos to Tamashii for that. Sometimes it is really, really difficult to pop them off and you feel like you're going to break your figure just doing that. So yeah, so you can quite easily get them into his sort of signature pose of Kamehameha with Goku in the background, sorry. Very nice. So yeah, let's get him into position, shall we? So yeah, in terms of articulation, it's mostly good. A couple of gripes. His head can look up really far. Really far. It can look down quite a fair bit. Tell you what, let's zoom that out a little so we can actually see what we're doing. His arms are really easy. No restrictions whatsoever with that. You can go all the way around. And of course, bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. Does get really good range, but it's a bit stiff at the end. The hands are on the usual ball joint, so no problems there. The actual shoulders are a bit of a letdown. They don't look bad, but, well, they don't function bad, sorry, but they do look a bit odd in certain angles. They don't quite hide the joint. Well, this side hides it a bit better if you push it down. You can see there. But this side sort of just stays inside and you can't really move it much. See, I haven't pulled it apart to check, but I'm not sure if these are actually part of the joint. Well, there you go. You can actually pull it down, so I'm guessing it's not part of the actual ball joint mechanism. It's just a cover that doesn't quite work properly. So yeah. The ab crunch, I don't know if it's just mine, but it's non-existent on it. There's clearly supposed to be one there, but apart from a little bit of movement side to side, it's completely jammed. Which, if you remember, I had the exact same problem with Vegeta. I don't know what the problem is with that joint, but it's stuck tight. The belt is loose. You can get really good stomach crunch forward, you can see there, and really good back as well. And of course it does swivel. You've got the new 2.0 joints down here. You don't get any restrictions whatsoever that way. Sideways, you get an alright amount. It's a little bit restricted, but for what we're getting to, you'll not need that much anyway. You've got double jointed knees, however, they haven't thought about the sculpt all that much, and especially this side you barely get 90, which is disappointing. This side is a little bit better, but again, you'll notice they haven't really cut out any space back here, which they usually do. In terms of the feet are dreadful. You get the toe articulation, that's fine, but as you can see, that's it straight. It goes really far that way and doesn't move that way at all. It just pops back, so he's forever pointing out the way as if his feet are on back to front. But I did check, they are definitely on the right way round. So I don't know what's going on there. Tamashii really messed up on that one. But yeah. Apart from that, the details of the figures are really nice. The only complaint I would say is that the skin tone paint that they've used is a little bit sloppy. If we can get a good enough... There you go. You see, it's not quite the same colour as the actual skin for a start, and they haven't really put on enough of a coat for you not to see the purple underneath. And finally, they haven't really gone all the way into the joint. So you'll see, if I do that, you can quite clearly see the purple underneath. And that's the same on this side as well. And it's a bit noticeable on the stomach as well. No, not the actual paint work up here though, but just the actual paint itself is a slightly different tone. So yeah, in terms of the actual figure itself, would I recommend it? Well, even though it's got a really, really steep price tag just now, I don't know, I do really like this figure. The actual look of it is, well, it's great, for lack of a better word. Sorry, my new tripod seems to be going down a bit. Yeah, so I do really like the figure. It's just a shame little nitpicks let it down a little. Before I go, I know this review is dragging on a little, but we'll let it slide, will we? So this is him compared to the other two Gohans that we've got. We've got Gohan that never gets out and isn't allowed near the sun, and you've got Gohan that's got too much of a suntan. That one I do really like. This Gohan is like an in-between of the two. It's got just slightly darker gi than this one, but it's got the blue of this one. So yeah, You'll also notice the Super Saiyan 2 hair, as I said before, has been slightly fixed. It's the same sculpt, same height, same everything, but you'll notice the front is filled out a little bit more than the old one, and the back has a little bit more depth to it than it did before. But yeah, it is the same sculpt, so it's the same height and everything. It's just been tweaked, shall we say. And it's better for it. It really is. And one last thing before I go, I promise, is that I don't know if it's unique just to my Gohan, but the Super Saiyan 2 hair is too loose to fit on the old figures. But this one came with a really tight peg hole, so it does actually pop on there just fine. And without the cape, it does look a bit too stubby on there, I will be honest. Although it doesn't look too bad, but with the cape on, it looks far better. The only problem being is that you didn't get any smiling heads with this Gohan, because he was mostly a Super Saiyan 2 release. But there you go. Just a little thing for you guys before we go. Like I said, don't know if that works on every single Gohan that comes out, but it certainly works on mine. So yeah. That'll do it for this review, guys, and thanks for watching.